ever since. It's been a long.
Good evening. Welcome to the reality show. I want to first of all apologize to our listeners and our audience. We haven't been on the air for about a month now. I was out, I'm on sabbatical. I was in Grand Bahama, and I'm also having some personal issues, so I wasn't able to perform the program as I would have liked it to be recorded. And I apologize to our audience, who I know is a growing, dynamic body of people. Because everywhere I go, I just come back from Grand Bahama, and people are expressing support. Tonight we have Brother Ali,
Yes,
Ali Reid, and Brother Ali, welcome tonight.
Yes, sir.
It's been a while, but everywhere I went, Brother Ali, you know, I was hearing people expressing support for the things that we are saying on this program. But before we start today, I want to dedicate this program to our mothers and fathers. Some people need special days to celebrate your mothers and fathers, but I don't. That's the European way. The African way, you celebrate them every day, Brother Ali.
Every day.
So this show, I want to dedicate to the mothers and fathers, the hard-working people of the Bahamas, the salt of the earth, who have made this day possible for us. Thank you, Mama. Thank you, Papa. And I also want to, before we begin today, Brother Ali, two of my very good friends have passed, and it would be remiss of me not to acknowledge them before we start today. Brother Vince Ferguson and my very good friend from Los Angeles, Iris Johnson Bright. And they died within a week of each other. These are two shining lights in the African community in the diaspora. Mr. Ferguson has been a constant agitator for real democracy in local government, and he's also been a constant advocate that we must embrace our children to create a culture not of violence but one of love. And I miss him very strongly. He's my brother, and my condolences goes out to his family tonight. My sister Iris Johnson Bright is one of the bright lights of the National Conference of Black Lawyers. She's one of the stalwarts. When I say stalwart freedom fighter, if she came here today, Brother Ali, and we were to call a demonstration on Bay Street, she'd join us. She's that kind of spirit, and I loved her as a sister, and I will really miss her as well, because her spirit of freedom fighting is what this struggle is all about, Brother Ali. And I want to pay tribute to these two shining lights of the African diaspora, Iris Johnson Bright and Vincent Ferguson. Tonight, our hopes and aspirations that they carried, we will try to carry them on as well.
Yes, sir.
Brother Ali, I have just come back from Freeport. I just want to pay some respect to the people who accommodated me while I was there. My daughter, my son-in-law, my sister, Ma Pearlie, Mr. Williams, Councillor Gao, Councillor Smith, and all the other councillors in Grand Bahama who facilitated my research into legal aid needs in the island of Grand Bahama. I know there's a lot of people that I need to acknowledge. The gentleman who saw me lost trying to find the Xanadu, and he got in his bus and drove me to the point. And I want to thank him, and I want to thank all the people of Grand Bahama who were supportive of me during my stay there. I know I promised to get her back to you, and I didn't. Those who I'm talking to, I'll be back. And also, I intend to come back and hold a legal aid clinic, the free legal aid clinic. And those who were seeking legal advice and were unable to get me when I was in Grand Bahama, because I wasn't able to hold a clinic, I will be holding a free clinic there shortly next month. I want to thank everybody, because without you, my work could not be possible. Thank you very much. Brother Ali,
Yes, sir.
let's get right down to it, man. These teachers, and not teachers, down here at the Ministry of Education, they get some mold, man, mold, all over the ceilings, all over the walls, and these people are having health issues about being in this environment. But Ali, the minister ain't in the mold. The minister in the air condition, nice, comfortable office. He's breathing healthy things, and it's not just the Ministry of Education. You got this thing all over this country, and this is a serious concern for me, the health and welfare of the Bahamian worker. You know, back in slavery days, Brother Ali, they had these slave codes that were supposed to protect the slaves because they were property, and you know, you keep your horse, you don't let your horse die, you try to keep it strong. So they had these laws to preserve the slaves, but the slave master didn't care about that. They just worked them to death. From, like you always say, from sun up till sundown.
Yes, sir.
You know, can't see at night till can't see it in the morning. And this is what our people have been through. And it seems to me, now 500 years after the institution of slavery and the arrival of, some 500 odd years after the arrival of Columbus, we still have our people working in subhuman conditions. In the salt industry in Inagua, in the industry up in Grand Bahama, these workers are at serious risk. Brother Ali, what do you think it is in our form of governance? What is it about the way we run things? Why we can't have our people, our workers, in a health environment? Why we have to have big debates about health care? What do you think, Brother Ali?
But you know, Brother Hannah, it's so good to be back.
Okay.
And I first want to say kudos to all the well-wishers and the people who have encouraged us to keep up the good works. The things you just pointed out, obviously we can see them, so we have a right to complain about them. My only thing is, or my greatest disappointment is, with somewhat the support that we are getting for this program, knowing the intentions. I'm looking at both sides because I know what your intent is with this Congress. And people have asked me, what is the Congress? If we could only come together, especially those who are suffering the consequences of, like you say, the molded building, and the different things that are happening. If they would only listen to us for 1 minute, to say that our intention is to educate people so that they know the value of that vote. Don't blame the politicians, because you put them there.
Yeah, but Brother Ali, that's all well and good. But the political system, you're going to put somebody or you're going to put somebody else. And it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other.
Exactly.
It's your form of governance.
Exactly.
It's the system you have. And part of our problem as Africans in the diaspora is we've inherited a legal system that doesn't belong to us.
Okay.
And we haven't kept pace with the legal system we adopted. So we adopted this system from England back in the days of colonialism.
Exactly.
And they have modified their laws to meet the needs of their community. For instance, in the United Kingdom, if you're a worker, there's a whole lot of legislation protecting the rights of workers. I mean, it didn't just happen overnight. The workers got together, they agitated, and they got it done. So it's not always the vote. The vote is part of the problem, but I think it's a system of governance, and I think part of the problem too stems back to slavery. You know, there were only a handful of slave masters, you know, Brother Ali. Wasn't a whole lot of them. There were thousands of slaves. At any given moment in time, all they had to do is stop working, throw off their shackles. I mean, as somebody put it, you only could be a slave as long as you don't stand up straight, because nobody can ride your back if you stand up straight. But there was something in the institution of slavery, and we've been talking about this over previous shows. There was something in the institution of slavery that conditioned us to this position we are in now. And I think it was Dr. Varma or his partner who made mention of that this thing was programmed back in the slavery days. Now you don't really need anybody to turn that wheel. It's a self